In the Almost Beginning by Carol Davis Koss. In the almost beginning, because no one knows the real beginning, only night knew how to breathe. Night breathed in and night breathed out. Once, while night was breathing out a long, long breath, she breathed out an egg. It floated through the darkness and was visible only to night, who knew it as her own. Something was inside night's egg. Something that made it shiver and shake and tremble and roll and jump and bounce. Every time it bounced against night, sparks flew. Soon, night was lit with these sparks. If you had been there to name them, you would have called the sparks stars. The egg glowed in the light of the stars. One day, or rather one night, the egg began to crack. The crack started at the top and slid down to the bottom. Little by little, the crack grew wider and wider until the egg split right down the middle of that crack and something flew out into the starlit darkness. If you had been there to see it, you would have named it Bird. It spread its wet wings and shook them quickly, making a whirring noise to dry them. Then it soared, flying high to the top of where night could reach, beyond which was water. And it plummeted, falling to night's lowest edges, beyond which was also water. For many hours the bird flew in and out among the stars, down and up, in and out, down and up, until it was so tired it looked for a place to rest. There was none. The poor bird began to cry and called to night for a place on which to land. The stars heard its cry and bent their rays into smiles to cradle the new bird. First, one rocked it, then the other, until the bird had slept in all their arms and was rested. So that is how the bird lived, flying and resting, for a long time. The bird seemed happy flying and resting, flying and resting. The stars were happy, watching it play and giving it places to rest. But happiness sometimes flies away, just like birds and butterflies and all things with wings. The bird was no longer happy. It no longer played tag among the stars. It stayed very still. Night was worried. The stars were worried. What did the bird want? Why was it no longer happy? "Ask it," whispered one star to night. "Ask it," said another star. "Ask it," shouted all the stars at once. And so she did. Why do you no longer play tag among the stars? Why do you stay so still? Why are you no longer happy? The bird fluttered its wings, much as it had done when it was new. "I have seen all there is to see as far up as I can fly. I have seen all there is to see as far down as I can fly. I have done all there is to do among the stars. I want something." The bird reached for what it wanted and could not find the words. "I want something." Night and the stars thought and thought and thought until their thoughts grew heavy and sank to night's bottom edges. The bird wanted something. What something did it want? Something new, blurted out one of the stars. A new place to be and play and explore. "Ah," breathed night. "Oh," sighed the stars. Now that they knew the bird wanted something new, they began to wonder how to give the bird something new. Night had an idea. She took the pieces of the bird's shell and crumbled them into powder. She mixed the powder with the water beyond her lowest edges and made something new. Had you been there to name it, you would have called it the earth. "There," she said to the bird. "There," she said to the bird, "there is a new place for you to explore." The bird flew to earth and looked at it. It is empty. It does not even have stars to play tag around. Night and the stars stirred earth a bit and blew on it. Soon, forests grew, filled with trees that held fruit and nuts. Then, bushes with berries sprouted beneath the trees. The water flowed among the trees and bushes in streams and rivers. Fish swam in the rivers. And along the banks of the streams and rivers, flowers nodded their pink and yellow and red and purple heads as if to say, "Yes." Night breathed in a long, long Night breathed in a long, long time and inhaled many of the star's rays of light. She blew them out in one long whoosh. It flew like a ball of fire and lit the earth below. If you had been there to name it, you would have called it the sun. The bird flew into the forest and among the trees. When it was thirsty, it swooped down to a stream and drank. When it was hungry, it ate berries and nuts and fruit. When the sun had grown tired and went away to rest, the bird was tired too and tried to fly back to its stars, but it could not reach them. They were now too high and too far away. The bird cried for its star cradles. The stars cried for their bird to hold. In the black night of the forest, the bird could not see the trees or the bushes. The stars were too far away to send their beams. They began to cry. Their tears fell through night and met in a pool, halfway between the top of night and the forest of earth. Each tear held one beam of starlight. Together, all the bright tears made a round, shining circle. If you had been there to name it, you would have called it Moon. Moon sent its light deep into the forest, among the leaves and branches of the trees. Moon held the bird in its soft light. Bird closed its eyes and slept. Ah, breathed Night. Oh, sighed the stars. Sometimes when the bird looks up, it does not see all of Moon. It sees only Moon's smile. Wrapped in moonbeams, the bird remembers its first cradle, the arms of the stars.